Good Saturday morning, everyone. Welcome back, you guys. Kathy with Big Barn Blooms. I love what we're building today. You guys are gonna love this spring arrangement. I'm excited. Have you guys seen the rain boots at Home Goods? I showed them off the other day in live. I got a pair. Look at these beauties. Just saying. So we're gonna build a big, beautiful arrangement in this. Super, super excited about this. Yay, you guys are gonna love it. Let me get my iPad working here and we'll get going. When you come on, say hi, tell me where you're working from, where you're looking or watching from. I'll get my words right today, I promise. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Anyway, so say hi, tell me where you're watching. Remember, if you like seeing these free tutorials, please like it when you see it and share it if you can. Make sure you're following my page. It helps me out and it helps me to bring you more. So, you guys, these are great. These are Home Goods. They were $29. Let me look on the bottom because they write on them. Yeah, $29.99, you guys. 30 bucks for these. They're made of like a fiber cement, but they're not heavy. You know, the lightweight ones, kind of resiny, but not really. I don't know how to explain it. They have that tinny sound. But anyway, they're fragile, so be careful if you buy them. But oh my gosh, for a front porch, that's where these are going to go on my front porch this spring. So this is going to be a fun one. Let's see, I see words coming up, but let me look up close here so I can see who's talking. Dee, hi, good morning, Dee. You get to watch from your couch. I like that. I think I need a couch back here so I could sit and work. I may invest in a bar stool that is high enough for this work table. I have it really high because of my back. So I could lower it down and then sit in a chair, I guess, because toward the end of it, I'm like this, you guys, but we'll get through it. So I love that you're laying on a couch, enjoying your Saturday, Dee. Here we go. You're going to love this one. So what I did with this is I wedged my foam in. You don't need a lot of foam, but I didn't glue it in. I just wedged it. So later, if I wanted to take this apart and redo it another year, because I'm like one of those people that gets really bored with stuff, in case you didn't know. But I could pop this out. It's not glued in. It's just wedged really tightly. And then you'll see there's this other odd little piece. See that odd little piece? That's a little surprise element I'm going to add in a little bit. You guys will love this. So all I did was glue a little piece of styrofoam right to the top. It's glued not only to this piece of foam, but to the edge of the boot. So super, super cute what's going on there. You guys are going to love it. All right, let me see. Is everyone seeing me okay? I got to make sure that I may need to check something on my phone with the internet real quick. Hold on. Sorry for the interruption. Let me check something. Hold on, you guys. Okay, I'm back. I just had to check something and it's working, but I don't want it like cutting out again. Yay, Kathy says she can see me fine. Pam, blue skies. Yes, Pam, in Reading here today, it is so clear. We made a little run over to my my storage unit so I could get this surprise element I'm adding to this. But it is so pretty outside. I'm like, everybody. I mean, I'm glad you're inside right now for this, but then you guys got to get outside today. I know I'm going to go outside, so. Okay, so we've got the boots. This is going to be so cute. I've got styrofoam. Let me, I got crumbs on them. I decided to do the styrofoam while I was waiting to go live. I thought I'll do the boring stuff ahead of time. When I did that one the other day, it took me forever when I was doing those candy tins just to peel that alien tape off. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that again. By the way, we still have I got orders pouring yesterday. We were making them till last night, so I do have a few left of those tins. If you're local, hit me up, and I'll probably be making them through tomorrow. But they're getting scarce. There's not a lot left. So anyway, okay. So the boots. Okay, so this is the color. I changed it from the picture I posted last night. This is basically the theme right here. Look at those flowers, all spring, really bright. I'm not going to use them all. That's a little much for this. But we're going to use quite a bit of them. A little bit of each. So we're going to start with our background. And what I'm using for that, let me put the main blooms aside. We're going to start with all of the branches and the greens. So my blooms go to one side. Do you guys organize like that when you're crafting? What's coming first versus later, you know? These are accents at the very end, little berries. So I want to start, and these are actually a little accent too. I'm going to start with these. These are our main greens. Again, I always say 3 kinds. I use 3 kinds. That's just my formula. This one is very branchy. This is going to give it some height without a lot of bulk. They sell these at Hobby Lobby even today. It's one of their staples in the everyday floral aisle of stems. It's a little bunch. I took the tag off. I don't even know what they run. They're not that expensive. Remember, every other week, 40% off. These are great. So we're going to break this down and put some of this in. Then we're going to use 1 stem of this. This, again, was from Michaels. If you watched my other lives, they had buy 2, get 3 free. So 5 for the price of 2. These are one of their spring stems. I love it. So we're going to break this down and use this. And then these guys, look at this color. Does that scream spring? And it goes so well with the yellow. These were Michaels, but I want to tell you, they were a couple years ago. I bought a bunch of them, and little by little I've been going through them. So I don't think they have them this year. I'm sorry for teasing you with them, but I saved some because I knew I would have a project like this. So that's these, but just find something that's in that really limey, bright green, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is this guy. Love it. We're going to cut him down. I see words, so I've got to see who's talking. There we go. Yeah, Dee, I change it up all the time. I think I drive Bob a little crazy. In fact, this morning we ran to Starbucks to get a coffee, and I'm like, I gotta go by storage just really quick. He's like, okay. So we went over there and pulled a couple things out that I wanted, and but yeah, I'm always changing things up. I get bored. Decorate every season, you know. My boys growing up were like, oh gosh, come on out to the shed, help me get bins out again. It's like, oh my gosh. But it's funny because now that they're older, sometimes they'll come over. You gonna use that? A decorator piece, some accessory. You gonna use that? I remember when my oldest got his first house, he walked by and I had this little shelf with hooks on the entryway. He's like, are you gonna use that? And I'm like, well, it's on the wall, but you go ahead, sweetie, you take it. So he did, and he put it in his house. But I love it that I have boys, I had all boys, and they like to really make their house look cool. Their houses look amazing, amazing. Okay, we're gonna start with this guy. And you know what's funny is the formula usually in floral design is 2.5 times the height of the container. That would be like through the roof. We're not going that high. We're gonna go a little bit higher though, okay? Probably 1/4 higher. And we're gonna start with these. Now I don't have anything in the center. You can wedge a piece in the center. I don't need to. This is gonna be a really wild arrangement. So what I'm gonna do is kind of go at an angle. And I am gonna put picks in this because I'm gonna be moving it around a bit on my porch. So we're gonna put some metal picks on this to make sure it sticks really well. But we're gonna go to the very back, right like that, straight up and down. So don't mind if pretty soon you don't see me. I'll probably cover myself up pretty good with all these branches and blooms, but this is just such a cool project. I wanted to bring it to you. So, but it's a little big for this workshop. So see, we're gonna put another one, but see how when you start doing this, it doesn't matter, and I'm probably gonna go back into this one. It doesn't matter if your stem starts in the middle. You can start to the side, and we're bringing it into the middle. Don't think you've got to have in a container like this where there's 2 sections. You don't need a piece to go across the middle. You really don't. We can make it work. Save the foam. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is go in this one, go in the second hole, and just bring it over toward the middle. And then we can kind of bend these up a little bit. Now remember, your stems are going to shift as you build and you add more and more elements. So don't worry about them being perfect. At the very end, we're going to end up aligning everything where it should be. So this last one I'm cutting down because we're just going to put pieces of it here and there. So I'm going to turn this around so I can see what I'm doing. Because, you know, we want this to be wild. So, and I may grab another bunch of this and break it down when we get closer to the end. So now I can kind of see what's going on here. I want a piece coming out the side because we want this to be crazy wild. Love that. I'm going to cut this one down a little bit. So are any of you working on projects today? What are you guys working on? It's kind of cool to see other people that are working on crafts and getting their spring designs going. It's kind of fun. I really enjoy it now. When my kids were little and then I worked full time, there wasn't a lot of time for this. I still managed to do some. And I did it on the side to make extra money so we could take family vacations and stuff. But now I can really focus on it. It's just really nice. It was great raising the kids and everything, and this craft helped us do things as a family. So it's awesome. I mean, if you have a hobby like that you can sell and it keeps your craft going and you get a little bit of spending money. So that's kind of why I got started. Okay, so we have a couple pieces coming out the side here. I'm trying to center it so you can see how wide this is going to be. But it's not going to be super dense. This is going to be more like wildflower look. So we're going to keep it a little bit airy. Okay, so we have that one. Next we're going to use some of this. And this is another great one. A couple years ago, yes, but it has several branches on it. So we're going to break it down. Because these are going to be the tallest. Now we're going to start lowering the level of the branches. We don't want everything that tall. We don't want it top heavy. And that's what happens if you keep everything that same level. You end up with too much weight on the top. Not a good look. So we're going to bring this in. If I can get it cut. It's a tough one. That's a good branch, or that's a good stem to save for later though. Anybody do flowers and now after watching me or from your own experience, when you cut a stem off, you're like, ooh, that's a good stem. It's like saving a good cardboard box. That's a good box, I can't throw it away. Well, I do it with the stems all the time. It's crazy. Okay, so we have a piece of this. So let's come right, this one I want to kind of go in the middle. So I'm going to use this one right there. And this is a little floppy, which is fine. We're going to kind of use some of these branches to stabilize it. And then I might want one coming out the front here a little bit. And then I'll turn this around once I get these put in. But we're going to use a couple of these stems because this is the perfect color for spring with greens. And I like the three that I chose because the colors are so different. It's really going to look like a wildflower arrangement. I mean, especially when we start adding this and this variegated, it's really going to make everything pop. Okay, so there's one stem we separated. And again, if you haven't watched me a lot before, when you buy your greenery stems or even your floral stems, just take them out of the bucket at the craft store and separate them. Can you cut this down? And like this one, I can literally make 3 stems out of 1 stem. And that's what I look for. You get more bang for your buck. So let's cut this one down now. So we'll have more to put in here. Get that greenery going. Now this is a fun arrangement. I love building the novelty. You guys, it's my jam, okay? They look dramatic when you're done. And you'll see this doesn't take a lot of time at all. These are quick. If you have a boutique, a booth in a boutique, you own a boutique, whichever, again, another good stem. These are great fillers, these containers. You go to Hobby Lobby, you know, Michael's, and then like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. When you see things like this, grab them. It looks like they would take a lot because it's big, right? It doesn't take a lot to fill this. And like I said, I put a lot of these stems on the table. We're not going to use all of them. We're going to use pieces of them. Okay, so we're going to put some more of this in, right like that. I'm kind of building my frame, kind of like we did on that bunny one, but not as thick. This is way more airy. We want the airy look. And I have 2 more little pieces. These I'm going to leave for later because once we get everything filled in and I put my surprise element, you'll see that we're going to need more of these. So, and I have 1 more stem if I need to fill in a little bit more. We'll put that to the side. Next, we're going to use these. Aren't those great, you guys? Look how variegated they are. They are wonderful. Wonderful. I don't know what kind of tree this is supposed to be. Maybe a ginkgo. I don't know. It looks real similar. I know the leaves are too big to like a pittosporum, a variegated pittosporum plant. I love my plants too, but I kill house plants, but I love to garden outside. So these are great. The variation in the color, the variegation of the leaves, perfect. So it makes them look real. So when you're looking at your stems, your flowers, look for variegated colors. That means it goes from one color to another. It makes it look more natural. So we're going to cut those down a bit. Another good stem. Keep saying that. Another good stem. And let's see what we can do here. We've got 2 short and 1 tall. So my tall, of course, will go in the middle. And I mean, this is a little tricky, I guess you could say, not having the center done, but I work with it. I'm into saving product. Like some of you are probably saying, she did not put moss on her phone. I don't do it. I'm telling you, I don't do it. I go in with my needle nose when it's done, and I just place it in the holes. I save product that way. I'm all about saving the product. You don't want to end up, this is too tall, I want this shorter. You don't want to put product on something that's never going to show. So if I'm going to end up covering it with flowers and blooms and greens, I don't want to use it. So, all right, we're going to put this one right up front. Oh, I love how this is looking. And then I'll turn it around so you guys can see. So here's kind of our little frame. But you see how nice and airy it is? I'm not doing it solid flowers, even though it kind of looks like it on screen, I think. But it is very airy. There's still a lot of little places through it. Let's see. How tall are the boots? I'll have to measure them. I don't have my tape measure in here right now, Pam. They're probably 2 feet tall, I would say. Oh, you know what I can do? I got measurements right here on my mat. Let me just tip them over for a sec. And I'll tell you. Oh, I have my mat upside down. It's been one of those days, you guys. I was in here cleaning and I put it upside down, but we're not making a bow today, so let's see. It is actually not quite. It's about, yeah, I thought it was like 24. It's more like 17 inches, somewhere in there. Good size. So anyway, let me see how that looks. Yes, variation in that leaf. Kathy, yes. Variation in the color. It looks like a heart-shaped. It's such a pretty leaf. I love it. This arrangement in the end, now I just saw these comments. I should look over more often. This is a good time to tip it. It's probably going to be, well, I'm at 36 inches and it's off the mat, so probably 40 inches tall by the time we're done. This will be a super, super cute arrangement to put on your porch, in the corner of your porch next to a bench, on your buffet, well, anywhere. As usual, I'm like, anywhere, you guys. This could be your tall item. When I decorate, it's usually at least in groups of 3, so this would be the back item, and then I would have smaller ones around it. So, good item to decorate with. Okay, next. So now that our greens are pretty much done until we add a few things at the very end, we're going to add some of the taller blooms. So I'm going to start with these. This is my favorite summer flower from Hobby Lobby, you guys. These I think are supposed to be cosmos. Look at those. Aren't those beautiful? I love, they have a lot of movement, a lot of branches. They look totally natural. Love them. Let's see, Kathy. Kathy, you got it right. It's going to be a bird's nest. You are totally dead on. Wait till you see it. It's going to be super cute. And I'm using a little bit different element for the bird's nest, so I want you guys to think outside of the nest or outside of the boots. It's going to be super cute. You're going to love it. But yes, really good guess. I can tell that you've done all this before. So you got to add those little surprise elements. It makes people stop and look and go, ooh, look at that. You know, more than just flowers. Flowers are fun, but it's nice when you put a little bunny or a bird or something in the spring. And what I like about this, I could have gone bunnies in here. I absolutely could have gone bunnies. But I like that I can use this all the way through spring, all the way through. If I found 2 pairs, I would have bought the second, and I would have painted it a mossy green and taken it a little bit into late spring, early summer. But of course they're rain boots. It doesn't rain where I live in the summer, but sometimes in June we get a few sprinkles. But I just love these so much. I'll have to find something else to use for summer. So, okay, we're going to start with this guy. I'm going to turn this back around. We'll kind of put it off to the side there. So let me cut these down a little bit. Now remember, we're bringing it down. These are nice and tall, but I don't want that length. I don't want it to overpower the top of my arrangement. So when you cut it off, it ends up going to the side. The main stem is right here. You see how these jet off? Just bend them up, you guys. Just bend them up. So now out of that one stem, I've created 2. Again, look for the stems that have lots of branches coming off. More bang for your buck. Another good stem to save. Okay, so we're going to start with the tallest one. And these I'm going to kind of put some in the background, some in the front. So once I get the front going, I may come in from the back and add one. So it's kind of peeking out between the greens. You don't want everything in a row, you guys. You want, in the depth of your arrangement, you want elements that are in the front of the arrangement and the back. Okay, think depth. If you put everything at the same level, it's going to look like a fan. You don't want that, okay? So this piece, I'm going to put in the back, peeking out from these greens. And you'll see what I mean. And then we can bring a couple of the blooms forward. That's not a problem. But we don't want them all in front. So see how that's kind of peeking out from the greens? That is a good wild look, and that's what you're looking for. So this I'm going to bring down. And I definitely not only want the depth, you guys, so we want some in front, some in the back. We also want them different height. So I don't want to keep everything this height. When I cut these apart, the stems were both the same height. But see how I brought this down lower? So just how they grow in nature, you guys, have different heights on your blooms. And what I'm talking about is not just when you change to a different bloom. In the same bloom, change your height, change your depth, and your arrangement will look more natural. It's a good look. Okay, so this one, we're going to pick. And I want this to kind of look like it's growing out the side of the booths. So I'm going to put a little half moon bend on it. When you bend your stems, you guys, don't have any hard angles. Make it look like they're just kind of drooping like they do in nature. Even the little buds. So I'm going to make some of them little S curves. Some of them droop forward. And within this one, I have different depths on these. So make sure you fluff and bend and put some little bends on there. Then I want a pretty good bend toward the end, because this is going to kind of drape out of the container. So you guys, put a little bend on it so that when I put it in, it's going to drape out. And I'll show you. Let me put this in, and I'll show you what I mean. So see how that drapes right down the front like that? That's all you have to do. Put your little curve on your stem, place it in, and let it bend over. If you need more, just slightly bend it, right like that. Looks like it's growing out the side. Aren't these great blooms, you guys? Look at those. So these are in Hobby Lobby. They're in that first row, right when you walk in. The carts are on one side, those stems are on the right. These are in that aisle. They're kind of like, they're almost like a Real Touch stem. They're really nice, and they go 40% off every other week. They're great. D, yes, a picking machine. You will love it. You will love it. Melody, you're in Reading. Hi, Melody. Good to see you. Melody, you need to come take a class at my house. They are so much fun. We're having some good times. I just seen the same rain boots in navy at Home Goods. And pink ones. Oh, pink would be so cute, you guys. So the ones at Old Navy, are they real boots? Because these are, of course, like resin concrete. Are they real boots or are they decorative boots? Because I might have to head to Old Navy, I'm just saying. When I teased these, I did get some messages. Are you going to be selling them in your sale? And I'm like, I only have one pair, so we'll see. Maybe I can find another. I was talking to Bob, we need to go somewhere today. I'm like, I want to go to Chico's, so they have a Home Goods there. Maybe I'll see if there's more. That'd be fun. And Bob is in the other room, D. I told him, hey, I liked yesterday's opening. Why don't you come introduce me again? He's like, I'll be in here, thank you. But he helps me a lot. Like, you know, ran me over to storage this morning. I'm like, I gotta get this. And so I can't wait. I can't wait, you guys. Let me just show you how I'm gonna make this nest. I'll finish putting these, but this is what I went over for. You're gonna laugh. My nest is gonna be made out of a little mini birch wreath, the wispy birch wreath with some moss and stuff. I'll show you how we do it. But this is what I had to go get this morning. I went, oh, I forgot to get those little miniature wreaths. So this is gonna sit on the front here with some moss and whatnot, and then the bird will be next to it. So yeah, I'm excited. So Bob is a trooper. Okay, so let me finish putting these in, and then we will go to the next element. We need a few more of these though. This is great flour. It really brightens it up. So now, and actually I gotta make this, see I keep putting a pick on it and it's too tall. So the first white one that I put up here, that's gonna be my tallest. I don't want any more of that length. Again, we're trying to keep it real, keep it natural. Like this is, we're making it look like this is one little plant growing out of here and it's gone different ways, okay? So I am gonna put this one behind, just like the others. This is fun, you guys. This is where you get to be your own little floral artist. And I don't call this just doing a flower arrangement. This is like an art. You're making a little scene. They're great conversation pieces too. People just, even when I have my sales, they're looking at everything going on. This is where your creativity comes in. Make it your own. Even if you don't like my colors, it's like, make it your own. What can you add to this to make it look really cool? Oh my gosh. A ladybug would look so cute. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. Now I'm gonna go to Michael's later today because I've got to pick up some ribbon. But I noticed in their section where they sell all their terrarium items, say that 3 times fast. But in their terrarium section, they have all the little miniatures. They are adorable. They had a little tiny hedgehog. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to figure out a class with little hedgehogs. They're so cute. So, but a ladybug with the yellow, that would be so cute. Kathy, go get a pair of boots. I want to see it done. I'll see if I can find some. Maybe I'll put a ladybug in here. So cute though. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so this one is going to peek out in the front. Wait, let me look. I need one right in the back over here. So like I said, some of them are going to be way in the back, which is fine, but look how that's looking. Really wild and kind of cool. So I'm going to put these aside now. We may want to add a few later, but again, I don't want to get it too thick and crowded. So look at all the different blooms I still have to put in, quite a bit. We're going to start adding the color. Now, this is beautiful, just whites and greens. I like it. But I want it to look a little more springy, so I want to bring in the pink. So I love these. Look at these. Look at these bright pink. And what I liked about it was the yellow centers, to bring out the yellow in the boot. So we're going to cut this guy down. And again, look at this. Look at all the little branches. And these are going to be even lower. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 little picks out of this. Now I could just put the whole thing in, but you guys, it would be too tall. So we're going to cut it down. Doesn't mean I can't group them together, but too tall. I don't want them that tall. So let's cut these down. There we go. And we need a few more coming out the side. Let's see, Kathy. Right? I know. Room is always a problem. You know, I think even too, it's like everybody's out looking for the ceramic boots. I had a lot of questions, you know, people private message me, especially in Reading, were there any more of these boots at our Home Goods? This was the only pair I saw. But they were bringing out all those little, you know, shelves on wheels and putting out tons of stuff. So there could be now. I haven't been over there in a couple days. But what about a pair of real boots? You guys, just, you know, throw some paper in them or throw some sand in the bottom to weight them. You could easily build this in real boots. You would just have to really wedge the foam or glue it so that it doesn't push in, because they're flexible where these aren't. But absolutely, you know. But it is hard, Kathy, when you don't have the room like that. Okay, so I'm going to add a few pieces of this. I love this little stuff. Love the bright pink. And this one, I think we're going to drape over the side here. So again, remember I said, let's go ahead and let's push it down. Now with this, actually I'm going to push it down the other side. These have no wires in the end. The only wire is on the main stem. So these I'm not going to be able to bend the way I want them. So I need to look at this and bend it the opposite way. So when I put it in the boot, the flowers will be facing out. So let me throw that in there so you can see. But love, love, love them coming out the sides. So there's just two, but look at how that little pop of pink just makes it brighten up. Little children's boots would be cute. You got some at the rummage sale, good. Yeah, you have to make sure the condition's really good. I love going to the garage sales, estate sales, all of that, even the junk sales. They have the big, like here in Reading, we have Roses and Rust. That is absolutely a candy store for me. Little antiques, rusty things that I can put flowers in. Sign me up, sign me up. I love that. So those kind of things, garage sales, all that. You'd be surprised at what you find. And sometimes it's more interesting than going to the craft store and buying a new container. So don't count that out. Some people just won't do yard sales or whatever, but when you're in this kind of business, you can get some really interesting containers. It is worth it. Totally worth it. So, great ideas. Especially if you're on a budget. I mean, let's face it, you guys, flowers are expensive to do, right? These stems aren't cheap, even on sale. So if you can save on your container, that's really good. But usually the cost is in the blooms. And it's hard because I do have people that say, hey, if I give you my container, what would you charge? Well, a lot of times the container is not the biggest expense, you know? So anyway, I'm kind of staying away from that, my little block where the bird nest is going to go until I get that on there. And I may do that next because when I put the bigger blooms in, I don't want to cover him. So, but at least we're getting a few of these guys in. And I like that they're kind of random, guys. They're random. They're not perfectly placed. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Yes, feeling better and back on. Hi, Sarah. Frenchie, yes, you did not miss it. And if you're just jumping on now, this will be posted on replay so you can watch the whole thing. Okay, so we're at this point. I'm probably going to need a few more. Let me just do a little bit more of these raspberry ones. They're super cute. Oh, and Sarah, I know you're waiting for a date. I had to go find the pedestals, and I think I found them this morning. We brought a bin home. So I didn't want to post the class date till I knew I had the product. So I think I found it. So yesterday, if you didn't watch, I showed you guys the Dough Bowl Bunny. That's a class. And I'm working on all the other classes today. And I think I'm going to do it live a little bit later today and show you all of them. So we'll take just a few seconds. I'll show you one thing that's coming up. And I know you guys have seen these, but you haven't seen me do one up. So these are pretty cool. Let's take that off. Got junk everywhere. I know you guys have seen these, right? The bunny door hangers. This one has a pocket. This is going to be a class, very limited class. I only have 5 of these, which means I only have room for 4 students. But this is going to be a class. This will mine that I make will probably go on my door. So, oh look, it's like a romper room. Am I dating myself? Anyway, so this bunny guy is a class coming up, and then like I said, we're gonna. I found the tray, so I'm gonna do a bunny tray up. And I'm going to figure the class out, and then I think I'll go live later this afternoon or early evening, show you the classes, and I'll tell you what the dates are going to be. But Sarah, I know that you want the tray one, but when you post them all, if there's any that your group really likes, or even you, not even your group, you don't have to consult your friends, but I'll stay away from the dates where you're on vacation. Only because I'm going with you, you heard, right? I got to carry your luggage, right? No, seriously. Yes, Pam, tell Dee about this machine. Oh my gosh, it's the best. And you guys, I started my Amazon storefront, so it's not published yet, but this machine is in it. So I can give you all the links, the alien tape, the pics, everything. And you can just click. I'll put them when I do a project, and you can click over and buy it and not have to search. So that's coming. Very excited about that. I'm getting it together finally. Okay. All right, what was I doing, you guys? Let me get this guy done. Let's put a couple more pinks in. And then I think before I put the bigger blooms, I am going to work on the nest. Because we got to get that nest. And we got to get the bird. So let's do that before I add any more of this, because it is getting crowded. So here's where we are so far. But like I said, we're still going to keep it wild. So this is the bird. He's a little bit bigger bird. He's not going on the nest. He's going to go next to it. And this is going to be my nest. I love this little wreath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my reindeer moss. And let's first glue our bird is going to go on this side and the nest is going to be up here, or vice versa. Let me place them really quick and I will tell you which side is which. But I have the nest, maybe the bird will go up top. Let's see. I got to see what I have room for. And okay, so I want to show you this. See how crowded it is right here, especially because of this one little section of leaves. I'm going to cut that off. I can add it later, but I need this to be a little more open. So that's why when you start doing an arrangement like this, you get so far, stop. Stop and add your little novelty interest pieces like I'm doing now before you crowd it too much. So now you see how I made a much larger opening over here. So don't be afraid to cut the bottom of the stem off where leaves or flowers jet out. It's okay. And I'm going to move this guy over a little bit because he's a little bit in the way. So right like that. So now it's wide open in there for us to work. So let me see which would fit better where. I may want to put that there. So I think I'm going to put the bird up on the piece of foam, and yeah, and then I'll put the wreath down. Let me see if I can turn this. So this is what I'm thinking, you guys. Isn't that going to be cute? And then I know out in my garage, I have all my spring bins lined out. I have little eggs to put in the nest. I did not bring them in, but before I take a picture of a still shot to post, I will put the eggs in later. But yes, I put little eggs in the nest. It's so cute. So let's get these guys put on here before we go further. And you could use alien tape. I'm just going to use little old-fashioned glue. It does pretty good with these birds. This bird is from Hobby Lobby. They have them in spring right now. They're 40% off. So we're going to put him on there. Push him in. And like I said, we can add a lot of this. I'm going to glue the wreath and we can add a lot of the moss later. It's super easy to do. Okay, he's stuck. So before I do that, I'm going to glue this guy in. And when I glue this, he's going to glue right here to the foam and to the edge of the boot. And you're going to want a pretty good amount of glue on this. But they sell the little bird nest. You can also make a bird nest out of moss. So whatever you need to do. Let's see, I'm going to get that in there. Right like that. So I'm really gluing this guy up. And I'm putting a bunch of glue on the boot and on the foam because I want this to really stick. And it's not going to be completely flat. I have it tilted up so you can really see it. That you want things to have dimensional, not even in depth, but in height. And when you have an element like this, if it's flat, it's going to go flat in your arrangement. You want it tilted up so people can see it. The moss will go all the way down to the container, but the little branches are going to sit up. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. God, glue strings everywhere. I bought a case of glue off of Amazon, and I'm not really liking it. It's really stringy. It was a good deal. I mean, I think I have 50 pounds of glue sticks, but it is definitely a little stringy. Okay, so I think that's grabbing it. So right like that. Isn't it cute? So now, let's get some of this moss and moss that up a little bit before we finish up our stems. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take a little bunch of these and I'm going to kind of roll it a little bit. Because what I want to do is get it in a ball and then I'm going to hollow it out and make it into like a little nest. Whoops, that piece separated, but to glue it in. And yes, I should be using my needle nose right now. I'm taking a chance though. Okay, so let me turn this around. And I'm going to plop this right in there. Now I'm going to use my needle nose to push it down a little further into the nest. Again, this is that reindeer moss, you guys, that I picked up at Home Goods. So the center of that little wreath now has a little bit of green moss in it. And then what I want to do too, I'm going to put a little bit of green moss on the wreath here and there and just touch a little bit of moss. So it's not so perfect. Because even when birds build nests, they're not completely perfect. So we want this to look a little bit interesting. Right like that. See, it's your little work of art, you guys. Be creative. So much fun. And maybe one piece up under here. Okay, then what we're going to do is put the moss aside. We're going to need some more moss back in here, you guys can see. But let's finish our stems, and then we'll get that done. Put our glue gun back. Let me brush this off. I think I'm wearing half the moss. Alright, so let's go back. This is where we are. And let's add some more. Now I pulled these out, but I'm not sure. These I think might be a little bit too big for this now that I'm looking at it. But we'll see. I'll finish adding all of this and we might not need those. I kind of like it looking like a wildflower arrangement. What do you guys think? I mean, we might be able to use some this size. You know, these more of the bud type. But I don't know if we're really going to need them. I think I'm liking the wildflower look. What do you guys think? Tell me, comment. Tell me what you think, because you're seeing it on there too. But I think I'm liking it looking a little crazy. I'm going to bring in the lighter pink with these. These are pretty. These are everyday stems at Hobby Lobby. I like them. But I wanted dark and light pink. I didn't want to just go all dark. So let's cut one of these apart. And we'll add these and a couple more elements and see if we really need those big, huge blooms. I'm thinking no. Okay, cut this down. And then we're going to save these with the leaves, because if we need to plug some holes in the back, leaves are a really good alternative too. Okay, so let's, and I'm going to cut 2 of these down because I'm pretty sure we're going to need all of them. Okay, and then these we can pull apart a little bit. So let's add these guys. And then comment, tell me what you guys think. Stay with the wildflowers or add some bigger blooms. I'll let you guys decide what we do. Okay, I'm going to come in here. So we're going to scatter these pinks around. Oh yeah, I love the look of these. Love it, love it. And I love that we can bend some of these over the nest. Oh, so cute. Let's do a short one. So I'm bringing some in. I'm cutting them super short, some of these, so I can get them close to the phone. Because we don't want everything to be huge or long. Let's see. Get this guy coming out. And I'll turn it around. And a couple towels. Come in the back for this one, so I can get to that foam. Right like that. It's getting there, you guys. I think you're gonna like it. Where's this guy need to go? Maybe this guy will land right here. Sticking it up on this side a little bit. Okay, so there's just with the pink added. See how it's just sprinkled here and there? Just a little touch is all you need. Okay, so next, ooh, I like these. What do you think of these? These look like they came from a wildflower arrangement. So I want another little element, a different texture. It's not a bloom, but it looks like it grows out in a garden. So we're going to cut this down and add this. This is also, was this Hobby Lobby? I'm trying to remember now. I cut the tags. This may have been Michael's spring, but it wouldn't have been this year. But they usually get these in every year. And if not, Hobby Lobby does have similar, let me see. Oh, here's Hobby Lobby's, and you could use these too. But these I'm kind of hoarding for the Bunny Doble. But see how they have a similar look? These would even look cute in here to bring some purple in. But these I need for that class, but we found some in pink. So we'll put a few of those in. So we're going to cut these down and add a couple of these. So I want to put a tall one in that kind of peeks through. So let's see how we can incorporate this. And I love how these are real bendy too. Turn him around. And he's kind of hiding back there, but it's there. That's the point. It's like everything doesn't need to be real pronounced. It's just a hint. People through the other ones. I really like that look. And then we're going to put one up here, coming up by the bird. Which I'm telling you where I'm putting it, but I know that you can't really see it right now. So, but you will. Okay. Getting there. I need one by this nest. Pam, thank you for the stars. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yes, Pam, I wish I was I wish I earned commissions from Home Goods. I'm just glad we have one. Let me tell you, for the longest time, and Pam knows this because she's from Reading, we had nothing like that. We had no Home Goods. So it was a treat when it opened. I love it. I used to travel to get to it, so. But anyway, so I added a couple of these. I don't want to overdo it too much, but see just a touch of them here and there. There's one peeking out right here. Just a little touch is all we need. Okay, and this is going to be one-sided, but if you have it on your porch, we do need to pay attention to the side. See how it's going pretty flat? So we are going to add a little bit back here because usually you're not straight on. These are usually at an angle if you use them on the porch. So we're going to pay attention to the back in just a little bit. Make your back look as good as your front. Maybe not with all the blooms, but you got to add a little bit. Okay, so now, what do you guys think of this? Isn't that pretty? These were Michael's. These were in the spring stems, buy 2 get 3 free. I just like that it has a really spring, almost a little bit of an Easter look. They're those little styrofoam balls, but I want to add a few pieces of it because I think it'll break it up a little bit and make it look cute. And they're pretty big pieces. But I'm going to bring some of these toward the back just to fill in some of the big holes. So we're going to put one of those right back in here. They're just going to be peeking through a little bit, but it kind of gives it a nice lacy backdrop. And then here's one. You only need a couple. You kind of see them peeking through. So this one, I'm going to put at an angle right here. This is going to kind of fill up that back a little, like I was just talking about. That's a tough one. So this, I'm going to create 2 out of it. So cut that one branch into 2. But we do need to fill this in a bit. Perfect stem to fill in, by the way. And this makes the back of it look pretty good. I may still add a few leaves to it, but look at how that cleaned that up a little bit. Isn't that a nice look? One stem to do that. And then from the front, you still see it peeking out just a little bit, so it's a good look. Okay, next you guys, we're almost to the end and we can finish up that nest. I wanted to add a few of these little guys, these little berries. I just think they're so cute. We don't have a berry element really in this yet, and let's go ahead and add a couple of these. We're going to cut these super short. And I like the leaves, so we may use a bunch of these leaves in the back. Another way to look at your stems, if you're focused on the blooms and you think, I don't need those leaves, save the leaves. They cover holes in the back of all of your arrangements and even your wreaths. So they have purpose, don't just toss them. Okay, so I want some of these guys poking out. They're so cute. Right in the middle of the blooms. Look at how cute that looks right there. So cute. And it's still airy. Still has a nice airy appearance, but we're just making it a little more dense. Like I said, all the light still shines through and everything, but we just want a few more elements. So I'm going to come in behind here. I want some near the bird, but a little low. So this one's right by the nest there. Look how cute that is. And we have one more. So this I'm going to cut super short, but look at all the leaves I have to use now. I'm going to stick those in the back after I add a little bit of moss. So we're going to do one more down in front. So I have 3 of these. And that will finish that. Let's see. Okay. So this guy, Just wasted that pick because I got to make it a little shorter. I mean, I probably could just glue this right in the front, but I'm going to put this right underneath the bird. I think it's going to be a good look. Use my needle nose to get it in there. It kind of covers up a lot of that little square piece of foam he's sitting on, so I won't have to use a ton of moss, but it looks natural. See how that covers that? And I don't have to waste all my moss. Okay, so that's all for that one. I think we're good on blooms. So what did you guys think about the big ones? Do we need to put a couple big ones in, or shall we leave it wild like this? Did anybody comment? Let me look. Kim says wildflower look. Wildflower look. Pam, you like the big area look. You said maybe the buds. Maybe I'll hold up a few buds. Okay. Frenchie, wildflower look. I agree. Let me hold up a bud, but I still think it's going to be too heavy. I'm glad that you guys recognize that. That, yeah, it's a little too, it is. It's too heavy. Look at this, you guys. Now that we have all those really delicate elements, look if I add one of these. Do you see how that's just too much? It really takes away from the arrangement. So I think we're going to leave these guys out. Okay, so sometimes, you know, you plan, and then once you start coming together with it, it's like, we don't need that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy apart, and we're going to add some leaves to the back of this just to cover up a little bit more of that foam. So we're going to cut these into little picks. And when I say cut them, we're going to cut each one will be a little pick. And what you do with leaves, let me show you this, you guys. So I've got these two that I cut down, and now I'm going to put them together and pick them together. So we want them low and dense. So we'll do groups of two to start, and then put them in a pick. If you don't have a stemming machine, use the wooden picks that they sell at the craft stores. They work too. So let me fill this guy in, but look at how easy this is. And because it's so short, it's hard to get your fingers in there without running them across this middle pick and slicing your finger up. So you guys, use your needle nose pliers to push the guy in. But these are really good for fill-in. See how that fills that in right there? Save your leaves. And if I didn't have these, I have a box. I keep my scraps for this very purpose, because we don't want to get into another stem of, you know, like, these are pretty precious. I may put a few of these coming out the side a little bit in a minute, but don't cut it into a new stem. Save that for your next design. Use your scraps. Use your scraps. So let's just cut this down a little bit. It's a little bit of work to cut them down to use. Good stem to save. But it's worth it because you're not using new product. You're using what you would have normally thrown out. So let's cut this down. And we'll put these together. I'm just going to pick a bunch and then I'll put them all in. We do not need any length. My machine's a little tired. If you haven't heard me say before, it's probably 40 years old. It's a bit tired, so I gotta baby it. Sometimes I get going too quick. And if you do get one of these machines, every now and then, take your hair dryer. Can't talk today again. Take your hair dryer and blow all the dust and crumbs out of it. Keep it crumb free and it'll work and last a lot longer. So they do get kind of clogged up. You'd be amazed at how many flower crumbs end up in there, even doing silk. There's always dust and, you know, but take your hair dryer to it. It's a really good way to dust it. So we may end up needing a few more leaves. after I do these, so we'll see. Okay, and this might be enough. I'm going to add a little bit of that really super bright green in, especially to the sides, because again, it goes pretty flat once you get to the side of the boot. So we need a little more draping to the side and the back. So we'll probably do that. Let's see, put this one here, and that'll help cover this up a little bit. Okay, so let's put in some of these. I'm going to cut them pretty short. And this is why we save the little pieces we didn't use. You never know at the very end what you're going to need. So all these little pieces are great to just fill in the gap. So, and then remember too, I didn't mention that, what you do on the left, do on the right, so you have your balance. So right now, this is what I have in the back. But doesn't, even that little bit looks a lot better. So let's see what else I have here that I can put in. It doesn't have to be all the same kind of leaves. So remember we saved these leaves, so let's put in some of these leaves. These were from those little wildflowers, so let's pick a couple of these and get them in there. And it's good in the back to change the leaf, the type of leaf you're using, because then you'll have different colors and it'll add interest. So I'll put one little one in here. And this is what I say, as we add these little leaves, not super dense, it's covering the holes. And my main goal, besides making it look good, save your moss. We're going to need less moss because of this. These are leaves I would have thrown away anyway. I didn't use them. So I'd rather use my scraps than use up my moss, because moss is expensive. So I put one over there. Let's get one over here. I'm sorry you guys can't see this. I mentioned we're working on my YouTube channel, you guys, so what we'll probably do is move a lot of this to the YouTube channel so I can use my overhead cameras. If you were in membership, you know what I'm talking about. I would be straight on and I'd move to overhead so you can really see what's going on. So we'll probably maybe start a project on a live and then finish it on YouTube so that you get a more detailed look of the process of the design. Better. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use these two together. Use those leaves up, guys. Okay. Push that in. Does anyone keep their scraps? Do you have like a scrap box under your table that you work on? So you need 2 scrap boxes, one for leaves, and what's the other one? Can anyone tell me what the other scrap box is for? Anybody? I should have little prizes when you guys remember. Can you remember what the other box is for? Yes, D stems. Ding, ding, ding. You got it right. So have a box for your stems that have flowers, and you can just, I don't do it while I'm on here because I throw them up here because I know I'm going to use them. But if I'm working and I'm not filming, I'll just sit and cut the stems into smaller pieces with the leaves on. That's in one box. And then I have my box over here for my stems. I can't tell you how many times it saved me. I'm like, I don't have to get into a new stem or a new bush or whatever. I've got it right there. I might as well use it rather than throw it away. So keep your stems and keep your leaves. Okay. Do one more here. So look how that filled that in nicely. Very, very nicely. So, and we have a little bit of these draping on both sides. Let me see, and it's not so flat anymore. That is quite enough to bring it full circle. So now all I'm gonna do is take my foam. I'm not gonna glue it on camera because I don't wanna take the time here, but I'm just gonna show you how I basically just stuff it in here and there. So we're gonna just go around the perimeter, and then I'll go around later and take it out and glue it. But this finishes it off. And look how little I used because I didn't glue it all over or use the pins, the moss pins. Also, here's another reason to not pre-moss your moss, or your styrofoam, rather. Sometimes when you have all that moss, has anyone experienced difficulty getting the stem into the foam because of the moss? I have all kinds of trouble with that. Maybe it's just me. Tell me if you guys have, because then I'm like trying to push it in and then it pushes the moss down and I'm like, and I gotta try to pull the moss out. It just messes me up. It takes twice as long for me to do an arrangement, and I'm using twice the amount of moss, if not more. So try this, see if you like it. Some people don't. Some people say, nah, I got a moss, I don't want to have to look for holes. But as you see, I'm just putting it right around the perimeter. I don't have to go inside the arrangement. We're not going to see it. So save your moss. Just go push it in here and there. And I don't even see solid styrofoam around this perimeter. I just see little pieces here and there. But again, get down at eye level, level with the edge of the boot, because this, of course, is going on a porch. But if you did put this, like, let's say on your kitchen island, this would be adorable. On a buffet, you guys. When I take my pictures, and you see my pictures, it's all about the buffet. I have mirrors behind it, usually a big lantern. That's where I take my pictures. And it's hard, because sometimes I want to just leave it there. It looks good. So think about what level you're going to be looking at this arrangement. If I left this on my buffet, it's right across from my dining table, so people are going to be seeing it at a lower level. So you want to make sure that you get those holes filled. So I've got to go a little bit behind this bird because I can see some of those little holes. And I want to make the bird look like he's sitting in a little meadow of moss. So if the moss comes up around him, look at this. It's a good look. Can you guys see the detail? See how it comes partway up his little body? That's good. It looks like he's like nestled down in the moss. So we're just going around, plugging the holes. Let's see, a little piece over here. And I think that does it. I think he's completely mossed. Look how quick that was. Not that much moss to go around. So let me clean this up. We don't need any of those. I think we have quite enough color and stems in there. We don't need the big ones because I think it would get too heavy and bulky. I like it to look like you left these boots out in the garden and things just kind of started growing in them and a bird decided to come and nest. So I'll find that the little eggs, because the little eggs just top the whole thing off. But look at how easy that was, you guys. So easy. You don't really have to worry about, okay, this is why this is my favorite kind of arrangement. You don't have to worry about your design. Like, okay, I start with this and I gotta get 2 out here. You know, there is balance. There is balance in this, but it's more wild. This is the funnest arrangement to create because of that, because you're not worried about making sure you have 3 here and 3 here, and be creative, make it look like it's growing. I could have even done this a little bit less balanced and it would look fine, you know? So I hope you guys do this. If you guys find boots and make it, please post your pictures. Oh, Frenchie sent me some pictures last night. She private messaged. Frenchie, can I share some of those pictures, because her designs are so adorable. She takes my videos and she runs with it, and she kills it. She nails it. So if you don't want your pictures shared, that's fine. But if you can, it's nice for everybody to see, your take on my idea. So, and for me, it's great because I think, oh, I would never have done that. Like Kathy's saying, use a ladybug. I'm like, a ladybug would be adorable in this. I love that. And even, I know it's like July, but can you imagine getting a pair of red ones and doing a 4th of July with ladybugs? And oh my gosh, so cute, right? I love that. Yes, Pam, navy blue would be so cute in these. Yes, so what I'm doing, yes, moss gets added last. That's me. That's mine. And I always tell you guys, this is how I've done it. I'm self-taught. And at first I was like covering the whole thing, and we used like the Spanish moss. This was back in the day. And it's a lot of product. It's a lot of moss. And I went, why am I doing that? And now I'm pushing it in with the stem, and it's making a hole, and it's pulling the moss down with it. So this is what I came up with. But anything that I share, you guys do your own thing. And if you find that, no, I don't want to have to hunt and peck and search for the holes at the very end, and you want to cover it, go for it. So whatever works for you. And then like I say, if you have an idea, drop it in the comments, you guys, because I probably didn't think about it, or somebody else may not, and share it with everyone. It's amazing what comes out of these lives. It's like I learn every single day. So it's like, I didn't know we could do that. That's cool. So anyway, let's see any other comments. Oh, mushrooms would be so cute. So cute. I also can't find the bin. I'm getting organized, you guys. It's been, after a couple years off, it's like we binned everything up, and some is in garage and some is in my little warehouse. So like this morning we went through so I could find the little wreath, the birch wreath to make a nest out of. But I have little mushrooms, and you know what else I have that's miniature? I'm trying so hard to find them before I do these, because I want them to go in some of these. I have miniature bulbs that are little bloomed bulbs. They're so cute. They're only like this tall, and the whole bulb is on it with the roots. And I want them for these, but I can't find them. I mean, I bought them 3 years ago. I bought them probably right before COVID to do a spring workshop that year, and then COVID hit. So, I mean, I'll probably find them at Christmas time when I don't need them anymore. But anyway, hopefully I find them. If not, I'm probably just going to move forward and build these today. If I find them, I'll add them later. But so yes, mushrooms, little bulbs. You could throw a butterfly up in here, ladybugs. Oh my gosh, there's so many possibilities. So if you guys find your boots and you make them, please post a picture on this post. And again, you guys like, share, make sure you're following me, comment. You guys are great with comments today. That helps my engagement. I need that so much for you guys to comment. And then I'll come on and answer all your comments as usual afterwards. So let's see. It's almost noon. I'll put what time. I'm going to work on these other projects. And I want to go live. If I don't go live today, maybe I'll go live tomorrow morning. I know it's Super Bowl, but it's not till the afternoon. So I want to show you all the classes and give you guys first shot at signing up, because they've been filling up lately. It's like, oh, we're full now. So we will do that. Rita, hi Rita, good to see you. And these are some of my members from membership, so it's so good to see you guys. I miss you. I wish we were doing membership. I'm just not there yet. It's nice to be able to do a live, and I don't schedule them way out because you know, I don't know how I'm going to be feeling that day. So once I'm a little better, we may get back into membership. But I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of liking just going, let's do this, you know. So, and then YouTube's going to be a biggie, because I'm going to push all these videos to YouTube, so you do not have to search Facebook for them. You just go to my YouTube channel and they'll all be there. So we are working on that. And the kits too, yes Dee. I would love to start doing kits again. They just have to be small. Shipping has gone through the roof, and I'm like, how can I afford to keep the costs down? And then with shipping, it's just hard. So, but we'll see if we can get the kits going again, because it would be fun to have the kits every month, and then I build it with you live. I would love that. So anyway, so that's where we are. If I can go live later today, it'll probably be around 4-ish, but I'll let you know soon. I'm going to work. I'm going to break for lunch, come back in here, work, and then I want to tell you what classes, show you all the prototypes, and then release the sign-ups form. So I hope I see a bunch of you in my workshops if you're local here. Pam, I know you're going to drive. I love that. Thank you, thank you. I do have a guest room with 2 twin beds, I'm just saying. But anyway, thanks for sharing your Saturday morning with me, you guys. And make it a great day, and post a picture if you make one of these. And I expect to see all of you. You guys are all running to Home Goods next, right? So anyway, I'll be at Michael's a little bit. I gotta go run by Michael's. Maybe I'll do a live there and show you some of the stuff I was talking about. Because those little miniature things in the garden area, oh my gosh, so cute. So make it a great day, and I'll post soon if I'm going live later today. If not, it'll be tomorrow morning, probably at 10 instead of 10:30. We don't want to get too close to the Super Bowl because we are 49er fans in this house, and we are having a little party at my son's. So anyway, make it a great day, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll be back soon with more.